Chelsea 5, Huddersfield 0. The Blues do get redemption for that dreadful midweek defeat by smashing the Terriers, with braces by Gonzalo Higuain and Eden Hazard, topped off by a late David Luiz header. A good performance with a lot of goals, but against not exactly a very good team. To find out everything about the game as it happened, be sure to watch all of this review. Hello there guys, and welcome back to 100% Chelsea for my review of the Chelsea 5 Huddersfield 0 game. And it's safe to say I'm a lot happier today than I was on Wednesday, because that was a lot better. Yes, Huddersfield aren't exactly great, and they weren't exactly great today. They didn't pose much of a threat, but we've played a lot of teams that don't pose much of a threat to us, and today we scored 5 goals, and we haven't scored more than 2 in the Premier League since we beat Burnley 4-0, if I'm not mistaken. So today was good. And, the criticism by Sarri and obviously the defeat itself seemed to have changed something in the approach, at least to an extent, by the players. Although, we've kind of seen that a few times already this season, that when Sarri criticises them, the next 1 or 2 performances are very good, and then we're back to what we did before the criticism. So let's hope we can, for once, keep up that kind of performance consistently. But again, it wasn't a great performance. To me, it wasn't a 5-0 performance. We were a lot better than Huddersfield. Maybe it's just because, even when we were a lot better than teams so far this season, we never managed to smash them. Maybe it is a 5-0 performance, but just usually it isn't. And today we actually just scored a few more of the chances than we usually do. But yeah, getting into the review, obviously starting it off with the lineup. Oh yeah, and of course subscribe if you haven't already, and leave a like. I'd massively appreciate that. Let's see whether we can hit 400 or more. So yeah, smash the like button down below. But now back to the review, starting off with the lineup. Obviously 4-3-3 formation, and there was a few minor changes in there that I kind of expected and I kind of didn't want, but they happened anyway, if you will. So it was obviously Kepa Arrizabalaga in goal. Then the 2 fullbacks were Azpilicueta, and as expected, even though I didn't exactly hope for it, Marcos Alonso on the other side. Then a centre-back partnership of Andreas Christensen and David Luiz, as Antonio Rudiger apparently picked up some sort of niggle, although he did make the bench anyway. Although, like I said in the preview, just to give Rudiger a little bit of a rest after already playing against Sheffield Wednesday last Sunday, I thought it would be good to play Christensen anyway. And he had a good game, didn't make any mistakes, although he kind of gave away a penalty that the referee didn't give. Anyway, it worked out well. And midfield 3 of Jorginho, of course, N'Golo Conte, and then Ross Barkley. It wasn't Loftus-Cheek, and it wasn't Mateo Kovacic either. Barkley, I wasn't originally very happy with seeing him, but he actually had a good game, so fair play. And then in front 3, Eden Hazard on the left, William Tata on the right, rather than Pedro or Callum Hudson-Odoi, who at least did make the bench, and Gonzalo Higuain started up front again. Now, the first half was pretty good. I mean, the first few minutes, Huddersfield, they kind of it happens in most games, no matter who we play against. They tried their luck in the first few minutes. They had a header by Moy go just over the bar. But, generally the first half was good. We had a number of chances. Barkley started it off very, very early on with a shot that, he put just wide off the post. And also Higuain had a decent chance with, still less than 10 minutes played, when Jorginho found him with a very good over-the-top ball that he took on the volley first time, but had it blocked out for a corner. But what I realised very quickly today is that the wingers, both of them, stayed a lot wider than they did against Bournemouth. Obviously, that is something that Sarri criticised after the game. William did so more than Hazard did, but both of them did more than they, have done in previous games, if you will. So that was obviously good. And also it kind of helped Barkley because he actually had space to move forward, and he did so. And generally, it was just a pretty good first half. I mean, Hazard then had another 2 shots. One was blocked out for a corner. One was just about saved by the keeper. But still, it was good. But it was still not as much movement as I, and I'm also sure Maurizio Sarri would like. And the same goes for the pace of the passing. It wasn't bad, but it still wasn't just up there as what we kind of want. But then after about a quarter of an hour, Gonzalo Higuain opened his scoring for Chelsea Football Club by making it 1-0 with a beautiful goal, a beautiful piece of movement inside the box. We kind of had the ball just outside the box on the right, and he kind of moved backwards, and he just turned around with a quick, sprint of pace, basically. Is that a word, phrase, sprint of pace? It isn't, but you know what I mean. He basically pointed Kante to pass him the ball. Kante did so with a great outside of the boot, basically through ball to Higuain, and he just, from basically the edge of the 6-yard box, the corner of the 6-yard box, he just smashed it first time, was it? I think it was first time. And he just blasted it past the keeper at the near post, right into the roof of the net. A great finish, great piece of movement, and just a striker's goal. Just a striker's goal, and how long have we been missing that for? And to be honest, that goal made us even better, because clearly we've played quite alright, even in my opinion, still in the first half against Bournemouth, but just didn't get that goal. But when we did against Huddersfield today, it just kept coming. Ross Barkley really should have made it 2-0. Just 2 minutes after, Higuain's goal, kind of Huddersfield made a defensive mistake. That kind of the ball just ended up with Higuain, who found Kante in quite a bit of space, who kind of then slightly overhit his ball wide to William. The Brazilian still did quite well to still make the most from that, as he put in a decent cross into the box just about past Hazard, but found Barkley just by the far post, really, inside the box still. But Barkley really messed up his volley and put it well wide, and didn't get any power and it just messed it up really. I mean, could have really scored that because the keeper was still kind of stuck at the near post, so the goal was kind of open. Could have done better, but at the end of the day, we won 5-0, so what do I care, in all honesty? I mean, with 20 minutes gone, then Higuain, almost with the second goal of the day, as he took a good Alonso cross, first time, a good Alonso low cross actually, first time, but just about put it into the outside side netting, just next to the post. A good effort though. It's just something that we don't really see. A striker that has confidence just shoot these things and just try, because why not? And it almost went in, fair play. But then around the half an hour mark, well, we still had total control of the game. First, the chances for us dried up a little bit, as we just had a few more misplaced passes in basically the build-up to try to create chances. And then Huddersfield, they drove a good counter-attack themselves around that half an hour mark, like I just said. But Christensen actually fair play with a very good block to stop the danger, obviously in that moment. Then Luiz actually had a completely free header inside the box from a corner that, put wide off the goal when he should have done better. But around that period is when Huddersfield got into the game quite a bit more. Like I said already, way too many easy misplaced passes on our end, especially painful and dangerous when basically the team is on the front foot, just moving forward, basically from just building an attack, and then we lose the ball, and then obviously we leave gaps in behind, especially the gap behind Marcos Alonso on our left-hand side. They try to make use of quite a lot. I mean, it was only like a 5, maybe 10, a max of 15-minute period where Huddersfield kind of pressurised us without ever actually getting dangerous, without any sort of dangerous shots on target. But still, they did pressurise us. But then Maurizio Sarri made a very smart tactical move, in my opinion, as he made Willian and Hazard swap wings, At least I'm assuming that's what happened, because they do swap wings quite a lot, here and there, just for a few minutes here and there. But for the rest of the first half, they kind of stayed like that, and it felt like that was something that Sarri, told them to do. Simply for William to stay out on the wing wider to basically help Alonso out in that way, and also to track back a little bit more than Hazard usually does. And it worked. As soon as we made that swap, Huddersfield didn't do anything anymore in the first half. And then just before the break, in the 45th minute, Azpilicueta actually won a penalty, obviously for Chelsea, when he stormed into the box with the ball and got fouled. To be honest, actually the contact, happened outside the box, just about outside the box. I'm pretty sure though, at least from the few replays that I did see, it very much looked just about outside the box. Should probably have been a free kick. So slightly fortunate for us, but we still take it. Obviously, Hazard of course stepped up and, as usual, converted from the spot and made it 2-0. Although, actually, just to mention it, differently to how he usually takes his penalties, this time blasting it into the bottom corner rather than waiting for the keeper to move and just rolling it into the other corner. So fair play, can clearly do a lot of things. What a surprise, Hazard can do a lot of things. And even though that already happened in the first minute of injury time, Higuain still had a kind of half chance to make it 3-0 before the break, following a good run by Hazard. But then Higuain kind of just made the wrong decision as he tried to cut it onto his left foot inside the box rather than shooting with his right, even though the angle was a little bit tight and a little bit tricky, and the shot might well have been deflected by a defender, but he kind of lost the ball as soon as he cut it onto his left, so that wasn't the perfect decision to make. But that was that half time at 2-0, and it was a good half. We had the 2-0 lead, not perfect but good, and we should have been up by at least 3, I would have said, with the chances we had. And yes, the movement was slightly better than it was against Bournemouth in the first half. It was better. The passing was quicker, but still not as much as what I want and what I'm hoping for. And it was good, but it was still against Huddersfield, who, Huddersfield are the worst team in the Premier League, and I'm almost certain that they will get relegated. So, yes, it is still a Premier League team, and they're still a good team. They're not awful, but, to me, they seem like the worst team in the Premier League, and okay, it was good today. But if we want to beat Man City next week, or United in the Cup, or then obviously Man City in the Cup final, the League Cup final, we need to do better than we did today still. And then the second half, well, the start was just very slow. I mean, it was just a lot slower than the first half. Less movement, slower passing, and therefore, obviously, a lot less dangerous moments created. And at that point, especially for the first 15 minutes of the second half, if we ever did anything, it was just Hazard doing things by himself, who was on absolute fire today. He was so good today. And it was then Hazard himself that did manage to, break the second half deadlock, as he made it 3-0 in the 66th minute. And yeah, like I said, obviously Hazard with the goal after a very nice through ball by Ross Barkley. Hazard then controlled it really well inside the box, took it around the keeper, and then finished into the far corner from a very tight angle with a very good finish. And only 3 minutes after the 3-0, Gonzalo Higuain struck again to make it 4-0 with an unbelievable goal. I mean, it took a good deflection and possibly would have gone wide after, otherwise, but it was an unbelievable goal nonetheless. It was great. Hazard came in from the left, going past the defenders before, kind of passing it along the edge of the box to N'Golo Kanté, who just laid it off first time to Higuain, who again, first time, just hit it from around 25 yards and just curled it, but hit it very hard as well into the corner. Not just about the far corner, like not just about the top corner either, but probably because it took a deflection from the defender's arm, I'm not sure, like I said, whether it would have gone in otherwise. It looked like it might have gone just wide, or might have hit the post, but it went in. So I was very happy. He scored 2 goals in his, well, not debut, but his Stamford Bridge Premier League debut, if you want to, put it like that. So I was very happy with that, whether it took a deflection or not. Nonetheless, a great strike and a great goal. Actually, Eden Hazard really should have made it 5-0 just a few moments after the 4-0. Again, he was played through on goal. Can't remember who played him through. I think it might have been Willian. And then he was just through, and instead of shooting, he just tried to square it to someone inside the box. But there was no one there inside the box. I mean, Barkley was just trying to catch up to him, but he squared it way too early. Like, Barkley wasn't anywhere near him yet. So I don't really know what he was doing or who he saw. So he should have just gone for the shot, but he didn't. And obviously, they left it at 4-0 for the time being. And obviously that chance for Hazard came just after Kovacic had come on for Jorginho. Obviously straight after the 4-0, basically Kovacic came on for Jorginho in that register role. Basically, it was chance after chance at that point because Higuain then almost got his hat-trick. He was so close to getting his hat-trick. A great attack, actually, started by Ross Barkley, who, like I said already, did have a very good game involving Higuain himself and Marcos Alonso, who then ended up low crossing it to the striker. And then the Argentinian, as you kind of started to expect from him, as we've only seen him for 3 games, but still already kind of expecting that from him, took it first time with his weaker left foot and really looked like was putting it in. I don't think the keeper would have been able to react from that distance because he was, maybe 8, 9, 10 yards away from goal. But the defender just about got his foot in the way of his shot, obviously of his kind of turning shot, and kind of just got his foot in the way and blocked it out for a corner, which was obviously slightly disappointing. Before then, Callum Hudson-Odoi came on for Eden Hazard with 50 minutes to go. And, the game then slowed down a little bit for, kind of the end of the game. Huddersfield couldn't do much. We didn't want to do much, maybe reserving some energy, even though we have to, the upcoming week off until we play Man City away. But Ruben Loftus-Cheek did come on for N'Golo Kanté in the 83rd minute nonetheless, before David Luiz did make it 5-0 from a corner with around 5 minutes to go. After a good delivery by Willian from the corner, then Luiz with a very powerful header inside the box. And did get his header on target, although kind of it was more of an own goal by Huddersfield's Kachunga. Basically, it was an own goal because he kind of just deflected David Luiz header into the goal away from a pretty comfortable save for the keeper. It was a good header by David Luiz, but kind of the keeper read it well and would have quite easily saved it. But Kachunga tried to clear it, obviously didn't really know what his keeper was doing and kind of just blasted it into the other end of the goal. But still, it will obviously still count as David Luiz's goal as his header was going on target. And to be honest, that was then it for the game and full time at 5-0. And yeah, I mean, what can you say? I'm very happy with today. We scored 5 goals. We haven't scored a lot of goals in a long time. Even the goal difference looks a lot better again, obviously, after Wednesday. We kind of needed a bit of a goal difference boost. So that is very helpful. Again, it was only Huddersfield. So, it's not like we're all incredible again now. Sarri blasted them and we were very angry after that defeat. But that's what I said, obviously in the preview yesterday, that a defeat like against Bournemouth, we can hopefully use as that, kick up the arse. It isn't like an unlucky defeat like we had to Wolves or in a few other games, or a defeat to a big team like Spurs or Arsenal. It was a really bad defeat. 4-0 to Bournemouth is really, really bad, and maybe can be that kick up the arse that we needed. And, we had a lot of good performances today. I don't really have too much to say about the defenders. They were all solid. Even Alonso did better in the second half than he did in the first, but they were all very solid, all good performances. Obviously, Luiz getting the goal as well. The midfield 3, I thought, were all good. Really, all 3 of them, Jorginho, Kanté, and Ross Barkley. Kanté in particular, though, 2 assists, great movement, and his usual, obviously, defensive qualities were good as well. Willian, played well, but not incredible. But what I think Willian did really well today is just what I think, at least, is following Sarri's instructions really well. Staying wide, basically hugging that touchline for the most of the game, and just playing like a proper winger today, putting in a lot of crosses, just always giving us that option out wide. And, which kind of just helped us in our attack and play, I think. Even though he wasn't involved in any of the goals, directly involved in any of the goals, I think he had a decent game. It wasn't incredible, but I think he had a decent game. While Eden Hazard was utterly brilliant today. Utterly outstanding. He looked properly motivated today as well, which he doesn't always do, which he didn't at Bournemouth. And obviously he scored from the spot, and a very good goal, obviously, that made it a second goal for him and 3-0 at the time. Could have had a hat-trick, and just generally a very good performance by him. While Gonzalo Higuain put on a proper striker display today. A proper striker's display, scoring 2 great goals, great first-time finish in the first half, and then another great first-time finish, this time from outside the box, a goal inside the box, a goal outside the box. What you want to see from your striker, great movement, helping out in the build-up play. Quite a few misplaced passes, I have to say, but, some of the link-up play with Hazard and stuff was already very good with, Jorginho as well. Jorginho found him quite a lot inside the box with a lot of good forward passes by Jorginho, which people have been, saying he doesn't do. But yeah, I was very happy with Higuain as well. And yeah, I mean, what else can I say? That was good. Let's hope we can keep this going and I mean, let's hope we can somehow get a result at City. A draw would be decent. Let's hope City can beat Arsenal now. So obviously we can go back into fourth again. That would be very nice. Would be good if we had that 3-point gap again. But to be honest, that is really it from me. Thank you guys for watching. Leave me all of your thoughts on everything that I said, on the performance, you know, in the game. Who did you like the most? Was it Hazard? Was it Higuain? Was it Conte? Did anyone impress you? Did anyone disappoint you even though we won 5-0? Let me know down in the comment section below. Like I said in the beginning, let's see whether we can hit 400 or more likes on this video. That would be massively appreciated. And of course, don't forget to check out my social media, which is Louse1507 on both Instagram and Twitter, as you can see over here, and also the links to both of them are down in the description below. And of course, this is YouTube, so if you haven't already, please do be sure to subscribe to 100% Chelsea, and also don't forget to hit the notification bell button and choose to be notified about all uploads so you don't miss any future videos. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Up to Chelsea. That was good today, and I'll see you next time.